A judge in Delaware on Tuesday ruled in favor of investors who challenged Elon Musk's record-breaking $56 billion pay package as excessive. And the judge found that Musk's compensation was inappropriately set by the Electric Vehicle Manufacturers Board and effectively nullified it. Now, if that decision does survive an appeal, and there likely will be one, Tesla's board will then have to come up with a new compensation package. Tesla shareholder Richard Tornetta filed a lawsuit some 5 years ago, accusing the company's chief executive of improperly dictating negotiations around the compensation package, and claimed that the board essentially acted without any sense of independence, much less its focus on fiduciary duty to shareholders. Tesla's agreement with Musk is by far the largest compensation deal ever for an executive. Musk testified during the compensation trial back in November 2022 that the money, if he actually got it, would be used to finance interplanetary travel. Unfortunately, I don't have a return ticket to Mars to offer you at the moment, but let's bring in John Terrett. He's been monitoring the markets for us in New York. He's joining us live on the program with more data on this story. So, John, looking at the numbers, and we actually had to look around for interesting comparison points for this one. $55.8 billion, that's nearly twice what the IMF's top 5 debtors in Africa, Egypt, Angola, South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya combined. That's nearly twice what was owed to the fund last year. How did the board even agree to such a staggering compensation package?
Well, you know, Rama, I think we have to put that to one side. I really do. Nobody ever said life was fair, did they? And I think we have to be pretty grown up about this and look at Tesla and Elon Musk as a whole and what he has achieved. First of all, Tesla is registered or incorporated in the state of Delaware, which is the oldest state in the Union, very close to New York, very close to Washington, D.C., and the home of Joe Biden, although that is a completely separate issue. Lots and lots of U.S. corporations are incorporated there. I've never properly worked out why that is. I think it's really just that all of these 50 states have their own selling points, if you know what I mean. And Delaware's is that we are business friendly. Come and incorporate yourself with us and we'll make sure that things are convenient for you and easy. So I think that's what it is. Now, in 2018, as you say, the Tesla board awarded Elon Musk a pay deal of $56 billion. $56 billion. Now, you have to remember, it's his company and it's his board, all right? In 2018, Tesla was worth $15 billion. In 2024, it's worth $600 billion. So a lot of people on the board and a lot of shareholders feel that that $56 billion was a good pay packet. They've done well. They're very happy with awarding him that money and they're not complaining. However, some did. Some saw bullying by Elon Musk of his board. Others saw the board members, you know, open-mouthed and open-eyed. Gosh, they're so just bedazzled by his glamour. Now, the thing is, without Elon Musk, there would be no Tesla, there would be no SpaceX, okay? And part of his shtick, if you will, is this sort of, I'm different, I'm glamorous, I'm just completely going to do whatever the opposite you think I'm going to do that. That's his whole thing. And, you know, the shareholders who were disgruntled by this did sue, as you said. And now the judge, who's called Kathleen McCormack, sitting in the Court of Chancery in Delaware, has ruled that the pay packet from 2018 must be voided. Now, the reason is this one. This is the reason, okay? She says the board at the time failed to prove that the plan was fair, okay? Under Delaware law, it's complicated, but under Delaware law, apparently, you have to prove that compensation was actually fair, and the board at the time failed to do that. So, for that reason, this was a corrupt decision by the board at the time, and she has now voided it. So the $56 billion, it was 55 something, basically $56 billion. I don't know whether he ever got it or whether he's going to have to pay it back. I mean, who knows how you have to remember with these compensatory deals, it's never a $55 billion in cash, you know, Rama. It's always options, this, that, and the other. It all comes in different ways. So how he will give it back, I don't know. I don't even know if he ever actually got it because of all the court cases that have been outstanding. But this judge has intervened in this company, and that pay packet is at the moment off the table.
So Elon, of course, could and probably will appeal this ruling, though he also did something interesting. He said he's thinking about changing the state that Tesla is incorporated in. But in the wider scheme of things, really, could this actually change board governance at Tesla, provide a bit of spine and independent directors?
Well, I don't think the board, for the most part, feels that they lacked any spine, or that I mean, most of them are really happy. Because remember, Tesla was only 15 billion when they made this award, and now it's 600 billion. Very few of them are complaining, but at least one did, as you mentioned in the intro. You know, there's always a chance to appeal in America, because whenever you get a case judgment against you, you've always got the opportunity to come back. I think there may be a compromise somewhere in the offing here potentially, but the other thing I think that will happen is that the board will do one of two things. A, yes, they'll appeal, or they'll simply reorganize the pay package. They'll give him another one. And remember, Tesla's worth whatever it is, multiple times more than it was back then. He may get more than the 56 billion and end up smelling of roses. And remember, he spent 44 billion on Twitter/X. So he might well come out on the right side of this. Now, on social media here, a lot of anger that a judge has got involved in this way. They're accusing her of being an activist judge. Also anger at the size of the package, which brings us back to what you were saying about the number of debtors in Africa. And I could well understand that. I certainly can see that. The problem is, though, that this turns out, in this judge's eyes, to have been a wrong decision by the board. The board didn't do its homework. And the board is supposed to do its homework. That's what they're for. And they didn't do that. And so this loophole is open for her to close down the pay package. So as a result of that, finally, as you suggested, Elon Musk is saying, don't incorporate your company in Delaware. How about Nevada in the southwest of the country, or Texas? Now, Texas, of course, is where he has the Gigafactory. He moved his headquarters from California to Texas. So that is very much possibly on the cards. And the reason for that, in places like Nevada and Texas, the rules are a lot looser. And the reason for that is that Delaware is so close to New York, where I am, so close to Washington, D.C., the financial district, the political area. And for those reasons, they have much tighter rules. The further south you go in this country, the more chilled they are about things. So it's very possible that he'll end up moving the whole kit and caboodle to Nevada or indeed Texas.
Indeed, and just to give our viewers a bit of context about Elon's state of mind on this, he's responding to people on his timeline. I'm not sure if I fully understand how a judge can reverse a target-based compensation package after 80% of shareholders voted for it, and the target has been hit. To which Elon responds, "Good question." We'll see how this plays out. John Terrett, thank you very much, joining us there, of course, from New York. Unfortunately, not from the sandy territory of Mars.